Λοιπόν, κυρίες και κύριοι, έχοντας στο μυαλό μας ότι αλλάζουν πάρα πολλά πράγματα στο γεωπολιτικό παιχνίδι, στο πεδίο που αφορά την Ελλάδα, την ευρύτερη περιοχή της Νοτιοανατολικής Μεσογείου, την Ευρώπη, αλλά και τις σχέσεις που διαμορφώνονται μεταξύ των ισχυρών παικτών αυτού του πλανήτη, έχω την ευκαιρία να έχω καλεσμένο εδώ στο στούντιο έναν άνθρωπο που και τρομερά γνώστης είναι του αντικειμένου, αλλά και τρομερά επιδραστικός στην καινούρια κυβέρνηση Τραμπ. Θέλω να πάω πίσω στο βίντεο wall για αρχή, να σας δείξω ποιος είναι ο καλεσμένος μας, για να μπορέσουμε στη συνέχεια να συζητήσουμε μαζί του φλέγοντα θέματα τα οποία αφορούν και στην εξωτερική πολιτική των ΗΠΑ, αλλά σίγουρα και της Ελλάδας. Για να ξεκινήσουμε λοιπόν, ο κύριος Ματ Μπόιλ, τον οποίο θα έχω σε λίγα λεπτά μαζί μου, επιβλέπει την πολιτική κάλυψη του Breibat News, ενός από τα μεγαλύτερα συντηρητικά μέσα ενημέρωσης στις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες. Για να συνεχίσουμε, έχει πάρει συνέντευξη μεταξύ άλλων από τον πρόεδρο Τραμπ, τον αντιπρόεδρο Βανς, τον υπουργό εξωτερικών Μάρκο Ρούμπιο και από τα περισσότερα μέλη του σημερινού Υπουργικού Συμβουλίου. Είναι ο άνθρωπος ο οποίος είναι επικεφαλής του γραφείου στην Ουάσιγκτον. Και για να συνεχίσουμε, έχει σημαντική πρόσβαση και επαφή με βασικούς παράγοντες και φορείς λήψης αποφάσεων γύρω από τον πρόεδρο Τραμπ. Για πάμε στην επόμενη. Η δημοσιογραφική του κάλυψη πλαισίωσε και επηρέασε σημαντικά πολιτικά γεγονότα των Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών την τελευταία 15 ετία. Άρα δεν είναι ένας άνθρωπος ο οποίος ήρθε μαζί με τον Τραμπ. Και για να κλείσουμε, την περασμένη Τετάρτη, λίγες μέρες πριν δηλαδή, μια εβδομάδα ακριβώς πριν από σήμερα, ήταν στο Λευκό Οίκο μαζί με τον πρόεδρο Τραμπ και άλλους για να συζητήσουν την κατάσταση σχετικά με την Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση και τις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες, και μάλιστα εκεί που ήταν, πήρε μια συνέντευξη από τον πρόεδρο Τραμπ. Θέλω λοιπόν να τον καλησπερίσω εδώ στο στούντιο του εδώ. Mr. Boyle, very nice to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Λοιπόν, ας ξεκινήσουμε με τις ερωτήσεις. Η υπόθεση με τους δασμούς, την οποία συζητάει όλος ο πλανήτης, είναι κατά τη γνώμη σας ένα διαπραγματευτικό όπλο ή είναι η αλλαγή του οικονομικού δόγματος την οποία επιχειρεί ο Αμερικανός πρόεδρος, γιατί έχει στο κεφάλι του, και το είχε από παλιότερα, έχω δει παλιές συνεντεύξεις του στην Oprah Winfrey να λέει περίπου το ίδιο. Τι ακριβώς συμβαίνει?
I think it's both and. I think that what the president's trying to do is use the economic might of the United States to advance American national interests on the world stage. He's also trying to turn around what we've seen where the Chinese Communist Party has been slowly but surely and aggressively building a global hegemony, and Trump is trying to look, it's either the United States is going to win or the Chinese are going to win. And Trump wants the United States to win. In a strong United States, I think the whole world benefits from that.
So we are the collateral damages of an ongoing war?
I don't think so. I think that you're seeing, just before we started this interview earlier today, the president of the EU, I believe, came out and said that they're willing to go to 0-0 tariffs on industrial goods. So, and I think the president wants to negotiate. Look, I don't work for the president. I don't work for the White House.
Probably,
I'm a journalist.
but you know him very well.
I do know him very well, and I've talked to him many times. I do think that and one of the most historic moments from his first term was when Jean-Claude Juncker came to the United States and when they announced a trade deal with the U.S. and the EU. Back then, I think an even bigger deal is possible. Now, Trump has a mandate from the American public. The public are with him. After he made this announcement, yeah, you see the stock market and the numbers out there, and the financial political elites are reacting the way they're reacting. But the fact is that his poll numbers are going up.
Είναι μαζί του, γιατί τις προηγούμενες μέρες είδα διαδηλώσεις εναντίον του Προέδρου, εναντίον των δασμών και εναντίον του Elon Musk.
So I think his numbers are going up. I think that he is, first off, we've seen it in polling data, Daily Mail polling data that came out in the aftermath of him doing this decision. He went up 5 or 6 points from before where he was. He has a majority of Americans that approve of him. And frankly, the political elites that misread the American public in the 2016 election and again in the 2024 election are not the people to trust on this. I think that the union workers you see at the White House and the audience there at the event that you're seeing on the screen with the president, those folks are the folks that make up his base, and they're loving this, right? Like, they are loving the fact that the U.S. is finally standing up for themselves, and that they have a president in the White House that's tired of the U.S. getting ripped off. So, but that being said, at the same time, I do think that the focus here is on China. The president has been clear about that in his comments, and I think that you are going to see a number of countries reach deals with the United States, and I think the EU will probably reach a deal with the United States, and the administration has been saying that more than 50 countries around the world have already been in contact, many of them on that list that you see there with the president, and I think that you're going to see major deals made very quickly.
Αν υποθέσουμε ότι ο Ντόναλντ Τραμπ έχει κάνει λάθος με τους δασμούς, μπορεί αυτό το λάθος να δημιουργήσει τόσο μεγάλες αντιδράσεις στις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες που θα φέρουν πολιτικές εξελίξεις?
Sure, but, you know, hypotheticals are hypotheticals. Look, President Trump used tariffs in his first term to great effect. Economists, the same economists who are crying right now about these moves, were all warning back then in his first term that tariffs that he did on steel and aluminum would backfire. That didn't happen. They were wrong. Trump was right on the tariffs, and he got to great economic deals that he was able to roll out during his first term. I think that he has even more of a mandate now than he did in his first term in the White House, and I think that the same political elites that were wrong back then are wrong again now. And frankly, the people that you hear criticizing the United States for putting tariffs on other countries never criticize the other countries for putting tariffs on the United States. And that's why that chart that the president had is so important, because I think what it does is it shows that these other countries actually have higher tariff rates on the United States even still than the United States has on them. So the United States is tired of getting ripped off, and the president's going to reset the broader relationship. And then the bigger picture here is that this is all about the geopolitical relationship, and that's a big part of why I'm in Greece. Why did I come to Greece to go to the Delphi Economic Forum? Is to talk about the IMEC trade corridor. Frankly, the Chinese Communist Party, through the Belt and Road Initiative, has been trying to essentially take over the world, right? Like, over the last several years. And there hasn't been a Western-led response to this until now. And now there is. And, you know, you have on one side of this trade corridor the world's most powerful democracy in the White House with the United States of America. On the other side, with India, the world's biggest democracy. And right here in Greece, the center,
the cradle.
You have the birthplace of democracy at the center of this whole trade corridor. That's an answer to the communist corridors that have been around the world, and so through the Belt and Road Initiative from China. So I think that the president wants to use and I've talked to him about this. I was with him just a few weeks ago in the White House. We spent several hours together in his private dining room, and then later in the cabinet room. He is very much wants to use the U.S. Economic strength to advance American interests on the world stage. And again, all of our friends around the world, all of our allies, all of our partners do better when the United States is strong and our adversaries like China, Iran, Russia, etc. are weaker.
Ποιος είναι ο λόγος για τον οποίο ο πρόεδρος Τραμπ προσεγγίζει τον πρόεδρο Πούτιν και τη Ρωσία? Τι θέλει να πετύχει με αυτή την τεράστια αλλαγή που σημαίνει πολλά για τις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες μετά από πολλές δεκαετίες ψυχρού πολέμου?
Well, the Cold War has been over for decades, right? Like, the United States won the Cold War. The Soviet Union split up. The wall came down. The West seems to forget that, right? Like, that being said, I don't think he's necessarily trying to be buddy-buddy or close with Vladimir Putin. I think he's trying to end a horrific war. How else would the war end than the ways that Trump has talked about doing so? What are we going to do? Just keep killing people and spending billions and billions and billions of dollars with no end in sight?
But he didn't stop it.
But he's trying to. And I think that he's gotten both sides to at least begin talking about it, right? And so I don't think that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, or frankly any other American politician would have been able to get the two sides to at least start talking about ending the war. So the hope is that the end is in sight. I think it's a matter of when and how, not if, the war ends in Ukraine. That's going to save countless Ukrainian lives. That's going to save countless Russian lives. It's going to save, hundreds of billions of Western tax dollars, not just from the United States, but from our European partners as well. So I think that the president is unique in American history in that he's been able to bring the various sides together. There's still a long way to go. They have to go through the formal negotiation process. They have to get the two sides in the room together. They're not there yet, right? But the fact that we are where we are today versus when President Trump was sworn in on January 20th is a lot of progress on this so far.
Μεταξύ των ηγετών τους οποίους προσεγγίζει ο πρόεδρος Τραμπ είναι και ο Ερντογάν. Πιστεύετε ότι υπάρχει περίπτωση να ξαναμπούν οι Τούρκοι στα προγράμματα οπλικών συστημάτων όπως τα F-35 και τα F-16?
Well, there's been some reports in U.S. media that Trump was considering giving Turkey and Erdogan access to the F-35s. My conversations with sources across the Trump administration, I've talked to people throughout the administration in key positions that would know, say that that's not going to happen. So I don't know for one way or the other. Nobody will go on the record about it. I think it's a very much in flux situation. Obviously here the Greek government would very much not like that to happen. I think the Israeli government would very much not like that to happen. But at the same time, I know Trump has had a phone call with Erdogan recently, and I think there's a visit coming up soon. So I don't know where it's going to end, but I can tell you what my sources say, is that they say that it's not going to happen. So I don't know. We'll see.
What Nετανιάχου says about it?
I would imagine that he's opposed to Turkey getting into the F-35 program again.
Την τελευταία δεκαετία, οι σχέσεις Ελλάδας και Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών βελτιώθηκαν αισθητά. Θα συνεχιστεί, πιστεύετε, αυτή η σχέση? Και αν υπάρχει κάποια αλλαγή σε σχέση με τις επενδύσεις που προγραμματίζουν ή θα προγραμματίσουν αμερικάνικες εταιρείες στην Ελλάδα, είναι γνωστή? Τι λένε στις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες οι πολιτικοί κύκλοι απέναντι στο πώς θα αντιμετωπίσουν την Ελλάδα?
I don't have any specific inside information about this or anything like that, but I do think that there is a very much an open and warm relationship that President Trump has with many leaders around the world. I don't foresee there being any issues here. He wants partners. He wants to make deals. Trump is the ultimate deal maker. So he's looking for ways to do what you're talking about there in terms of investment deals both ways. So if there are opportunities for Greek leaders to make deals with the United States that lead to investment in the United States and in Greece, I think the president would very much be willing to do that. Again, I don't work for him. I'm a journalist, but I know him pretty well. He is the ultimate deal maker. That's what he wants. He wants to make deals that benefit the American people. And if they benefit the partners on the other side of the deal too, that's great, right? So I think he wants to do that. So he's looking for announcements to that effect. You see him do this with leaders when he brings leaders from other countries to the White House, when they do a bilateral press conference or they appear together in front of the reporters. What are they always talking about? What investment is that country going to make in the United States? What deals are the United States going to make with that country? That's what Trump views himself as. He is the ultimate deal maker. He's looking for deals. If there's deals to be made with Greece, and I would imagine there are, then both sides will likely be pursuing those deals.
Για να δούμε και την τελευταία μας ερώτηση. Βλέπουμε ότι ο Elon Musk προσεγγίζει σχεδόν όλα τα ακροδεξιά κόμματα στην Ευρώπη. Ταυτόχρονα ο πρόεδρος Τραμπ μοιάζει να έχει καλές σχέσεις με όλους τους απολυταρχικούς ηγέτες. Έχουμε μήπως μια στροφή του Ρεπουμπλικανικού κόμματος των ΗΠΑ προς την ακροδεξιά?
Well, first off, the Republican Party is a conservative party in the United States.
It's not a far-right party.
It's a conservative party. It is a far-right party, right? Like, so whatever terminology you want to apply to it, it's the conservative party in the United States. The Democrat Party is the party on the left. The Republican Party is the party on the right. The Republicans believe in lower taxation.
There's a significant difference between right and far-right.
I don't know if we would characterize it like that in the United States, right? Like, I do think that the Republican Party has undergone transformation during the Trump years over the course of the last decade or so. The Republican Party has become, for instance, much more working class. It has deepened ties with organized labor, with unions. Those have traditionally been Democrat groups, right? Like, so the traditional political lines in the United States have been blurred as we are entering what may amount to be a political realignment here in the Trump era and possibly even in the post-Trump era that we'll see in future elections if these trends hold. But, you know, things like, you know, we saw in the United States Black and Hispanic voters vote for President Trump and Republicans in big numbers. Those are groups that used to be Democrat constituencies. Women voters voted in big numbers for President Trump, young voters too. So we're seeing a trend where young voters are moving further to the right. I don't know if I would agree with the characterization of right, far right, or anything like that. It's kind of more of a top-down political perspective, where it is you know, do you stand with the elites, like the Wall Street folks and the media elites and the people that could go to Ivy League institutions, or do you stand with that working class union worker that we're talking about?
Trump is a part of the elite.
He's kind of the regular guy's voice in that crowd. Yeah, I mean, he's a billionaire, but he's a working class guy at heart, right? I mean, he loves his McDonald's, and you know, he talks like a regular guy. He's a funny guy. So yeah, I mean, in the sense that, does he have a lot of money? Sure. And he's been an extremely successful business guy, but at the same time, I think in his heart of hearts, he's a regular New York working class kid, you know, and always has been.
So, Mr. Boyle, thank you very much for being here.
You bet. Yep, thanks for having me.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Have a nice trip to Delphi. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Λοιπόν, αυτός, κυρίες και κύριοι, ήταν ο Ματ Μπόιλ. Επιβλέπει την πολιτική κάλυψη του Breibat News, ένα από τα μεγαλύτερα συντηρητικά μέσα ενημέρωσης στις ΗΠΑ. Είναι ένας άνθρωπος που ήταν κοντά πολύ καιρό στον Ντόναλντ Τραμπ, βοήθησε. Ακούσατε τι μας είπε και για την σχέση με τις ΗΠΑ, αλλά και σε ό,τι αφορά στην Τουρκία και στα εξοπλιστικά. Αυτά λοιπόν από τον αμερικάνικο παράγοντα. Θα συνεχίσουμε εδώ να κάνουμε απόπειρες να μιλάμε με τέτοιους ανθρώπους για να διευρύνουμε όσο περισσότερο γίνεται τους οριζοντές μας.